back to Luminate Local. I'm your host, Jesse Dolan. And for the last 25 years, I've been helping small and local businesses get found online through smart and effective SEO strategies. If you've been tuning in or diving into SEO for your business lately, you've probably heard the word backlink tossed around quite a bit. Do you know what backlinks are? What the heck is a backlink? Why do backlinks matter? And how do you get one, right? For your business or for your website? That's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. And hopefully by the end, you'll understand what a backlink is in plain English, how a backlink will impact your rankings in Google or other search engines, and hopefully a few ways to start building backlinks and getting backlinks for your business starting today. So let's dive in. So you are sitting there, right, as maybe you're a local business owner, marketing manager, webmaster, creator, whatever it is. You're trying to rank higher in Google and in search engines to bring in more leads, grow your business online, things like that, right? If that's the case, you're in the right spot. You've been learning SEO, maybe working on your website, and you're ready to level up, right? What are these backlinks and how do I take advantage of this? You know it's important. Again, you've probably heard about them by now. It can be a little fuzzy though, right? So maybe you're not where you want to be in search engines. You're not getting the rankings that you think you should be getting. Maybe you've done some other optimizations, thinking that maybe backlinks is going to be the key for you. But again, you just don't understand what they are, how to get them. It's confusing. What are the behind the scenes things that only these tech wizards or big brands, really know how to do and use? That's not what backlinks are. They're not magical for results. They're not magical to create, but it is frustrating because SEO has a ton of moving pieces. Why does something like backlinks, which sounds very technical, have to matter? It's not that hard, and we're gonna break it down here. So, like I said earlier, I've been doing this SEO for over 25 years now, and helped a lot of businesses and business owners and managers just like you understand this and implement strategies that actually move the needle. I can tell you that backlinks don't have to be again mysterious, right, or magical. They're pretty easy to understand, and you can do it. I'll show you how here. So let's start with a plan. First, what is a backlink? Okay. So a backlink is just a link from a website that points back to yours. So think about it like if you're on your website and you're typing in, maybe you want to show people where this podcast came from and you want to say, hey, go visit Luminate Local to check out this episode. If you were to go to our website, luminatelocal.com, and just copy that web address and put that into your website and make it a link, right? Where if people, once you publish it, people click on that link on your website and they can visit Luminate Local. That's a backlink, right? That's a backlink for Luminate Local because it comes to Luminate Local when you click on it. So if you understand that analogy, a backlink is that for your business. It's a link on another website that will bring people to your website, whether it be your homepage, an inner page, a landing page, whatever it is. A backlink is just a link from one website to another. Now, you can also have that be internal linking, right? So when we say backlink, we typically mean, from one website to another. We don't mean, within your website, linking from one page on your website to another page on your website. That's more what we call like an interlink or just a link. But a backlink refers to another website linking to yours. It's basically saying within the business website world, if you will, that, hey, this business is worth checking out. And that's how Google sees it. I like to say it a lot. It like helps you, show that you're cool, right? The more websites that link to Luminate Local, Google sees Luminate Local as being important and prominent and authoritative for something, right? So Google likes to see these backlinks. It's a signal that kind of in the real world maybe helps to show edification or authority on topics. The more credible the backlinks that you're pointing to your site, the more trustworthy and authoritative you're going to appear in the eyes of search engines. And what do we mean by credible? If you were to get a link from, let's say, your local news agency, whatever they are, Channel 4, Channel 9, Channel 13, whatever, if a local news station were to link from their any page to your website, that's pretty credible, right? Google, AI, search engines, they're all going to know of the entity of that local news station and trust it. That's going to be a credible backlink. Now, if I just whip up a brand new website today that nobody's ever heard of, and I just throw up a page and have a link on that page to your website, well, that's not very credible, right? It's a brand new website. Nobody even knows it exists. Nobody has left reviews for it, right? There's just no like tangible real world credibility for that website. So even though that's a backlink to your website, just like the backlink from the news outlet to your website is a backlink, one is more credible than the other. So I hope you understand that. You don't want to just get backlinks for the sake of getting backlinks. The credibility, and the authority of that backlink has a lot to do with the value there, right? So again, the more trustworthy and authoritative that website is, which is then linking to you or giving you that backlink, the more credible, the more authoritative, the more trustworthy you are in the eyes of search engines. So keep that in mind as we dive deeper into how to get backlinks. What are they? Why do they matter? That's a big part of it, is quality, credible backlinks. So why do backlinks matter for SEO? Backlinks are one of the most important ranking signals within Google. It doesn't mean just getting a backlink is going to jack your rankings up, but it's one of the most important signals because they're like votes of confidence, right? The more high quality, credible, relevant websites that are linking from themselves to your website, the more Google assumes that your content is valuable, and the higher you can rank and search for that. Right? They're like votes for you on that topic, if that makes sense. The backlinks, like I said, are not created equal, so there is an inverse. If you maybe there's an X-rated website that's linking to yours, and if you're not in that space, that could be a bad backlink, right? That could actually bring some negative side effects to your website. So just like you want trustworthy and credible links to help you, you want to avoid low quality backlinks that may hurt you. They can just be sketchy. They can be considered spam, things like that. I guess moral of the story on this, where I'm really trying to go, is that quality is going to win over quantity for backlinks. Just one or two good quality links from an authoritative and trusted website, could do some great things for your site. If you got 100 crappy backlinks from websites nobody trusts or has heard of, it probably isn't going to do anything for you and may actually hurt you. So again, quality over quantity for sure when we're talking backlinks. Now, how do we get backlinks, right? So let's talk about two approaches, passive and proactive. Passive backlinks, those are easy wins that you can control a little bit. Let's start with some of the basics. So add your website to different directories. Yelp is one that I use a lot. People know what Yelp is. Depends on your industry if it makes sense for you, but you can understand what Yelp is. I think we all know. Doesn't mean I'm a fan of Yelp necessarily. There's some business practices there that a lot of marketers want to avoid, with them trying to upsell you with paid promotions and things like that. But everybody's familiar with Yelp, right? So when you list your business in a directory like Yelp, or the Yellow Pages, or maybe your local chamber of commerce, whatever it is, right? You're gonna have a profile, maybe your name, a little bit about your business, maybe some photos, phone number, things like that. Well, you're also gonna have a spot to put your website, and that will link back to your website, right? So that is a backlink from Yelp or a backlink from the Chamber of Commerce. Okay. So you can add your business to all those directories. What directories should you be putting yourself in? That's up to you. If you are completely unsure, just do some searches for your competitors, type in their brand name and see where they show up. right? See if the local chamber of commerce shows up, see if Yelp shows up, and just start making a list from there. You're going to want to be in the same place as they are, and then some. Another one that people kind of miss sometimes as being a backlink is your Google Business Profile, your GBP. Within your GBP, you have a spot to add your website, and that's going to be a link, back to your website. Getting listed in your GBP is super important for your business in general to show up in maps and in local searches, but that's also an opportunity to get a link back to your website. All of your social media profiles is another great opportunity to get backlinks. Facebook, LinkedIn, things like that. I don't know if Instagram, if that'll show up and be a link, but you get the idea. Really, any property that's not your website that you are managing or being listed in, make sure you're having a link back to your website from there. These are foundational backlinks that are easy to set up and still send great signals to Google. In addition to that, too, just bear this in mind for best practices. This is good to get backlinks, but this is also good to connect your website, right? For people, if somebody's on Facebook and maybe they want to patronize you, maybe they want to call you, maybe they want to learn more, make sure they have a link to your website so they can take that next step. They're not just trapped in social. You want to roll out the red carpet. Like, here's my website, take the next step, contact us. So multiple reasons, not just for the backlink here, right? Now, so those are fairly passive, easy to do and set up, and you're probably already managing a lot of these portals and directories. Now, another one, which is, like I said, a little more proactive, is going to require some outreach, maybe even some relationship massaging or some relationship building. And here's some examples. Do you have vendors, right? Any partners, things like that? Who interacts with you, who collaborates you, who partners with you? Where do you have those relationships that are strategic? Can you get listed on their web pages? Maybe there's a particular page on a website, right? When I say a vendor, for example, it doesn't have to be like, here's all of our, outlets where you can find us, which would be great. If your vendors have a page like that, you for sure want to show up in their directories or where to buy our products type things. But maybe they don't have that. Maybe you can find a page on their website that just seems like this is a great fit for them to mention you and push traffic and opportunities to you. Approach them with that. Say, here's a page. I was wondering, can you put a little blurb on my website? Maybe you already mentioned my name, right? And maybe in a weird scenario, I also want a link to my website there. And same with any other partners or collaborators or contractors that makes sense. And maybe even clients in some cases, right? If they'd be willing to link to your website. Now, oftentimes, if you were to just call somebody or send an email, they may not know what you're talking about here. So it's always important to make this as easy as possible with them. Here's maybe the page that I'm identifying. Maybe even here, if they need a paragraph or some text to kind of go with it, supply that, to be prepared for that. Make it very easy where they can just, ideally, if you will, just copy and paste this and put it on their website, hit publish, and boom, you're done. Try to do as much work as possible for them, because if they haven't already listed and linked your website, now you're creating some work for them. They're not probably going to get a whole lot of benefit unless there's something else to the relationship here. They're really doing this for you. So do as much of the work as you can, and you're going to have the best results possible. Not everybody's going to say yes to this. Don't be deterred, right? Where if you have 10 or 100 targets in mind as you're hearing this and watching this, not everybody's going to say yes. And that's fine. This is a numbers game. We want to get as many as possible in a good quality and, credible backlinks, but not everybody's going to say yes. That's okay. We'll take the yeses and just move on from the no's. But again, making it as easy as possible for them is going to get you more yeses. Another thing that's maybe not as effective or common now, but I do want to mention, is guest blog posting. This is something that was done a little bit more in years gone by. But if you have a connection to a website that needs some content, maybe you've been asked to write an article for somebody, whatever it is, if you're ever providing content for somebody else, either they've asked you or you identify a need and you approach them, when you write that content, see if there's a way for you to include a link back to your website, whether that be just straight up, hey, this is who wrote it and you can find their website here, or if it makes sense to work it into the content of the article. Again, here, I'd make sure that they understand that you're doing that. Don't try to sneak that in or hide it. But that is a great way, guest blog posting, guest article writing, or things like that. Um, Again, on all this, I got to underscore for your time, for your energy, and for the value of doing this, make sure you're going for things that are relevant and credible, right? One solid backlink can make a big difference. Again, spending your time and energy for a bunch of crappy backlinks that aren't going to make a difference, you just wasted your time really there, right? So make a list, do some outreach, and just take it one by one. And again, quality over quantity. So now that you know what backlinks are and some tips on how to get them, actually, let me back up. I completely forgot. In addition to things that are more business related like that, something that a lot of clients will miss often is uh, local support networks or wherever you're contributing or donating. Think like local t-ball team, right? Or baseball team or volleyball team or your church mission that you supported, right? Wherever you're donating money, donating time, whatever you're a member of as a business, things like that. Ask if they have directories, ask if they have listings, ask if they have sponsor pages, again, like in the local t-ball team type deal, right? You don't want to just have your logo on the shirt. Ask them, hey, do you have a web page that you can list my business on and put a link back to my website? And in some cases, they may say no. You say, hey, can I help you develop one, right? It's going to be worth it for you to get that. Where backlinks are valuable for you is not just in the relevance, right? If you're a local business, getting a link from the Chamber of Commerce, that's relevant, right? Now, if you're a local business and you can get a link from the local t-ball team, that's not as relevant. What does the Youth Athletic Association have to do with my business? Well, not so much on the topic relevancy there, but for sure on the local relevancy. That's an undertone for all of this is we're talking local SEO. We want to be found locally for our businesses, right? So when we get backlinks, it doesn't have to be something that's great for the keyword on the product, the service, or the business type. But just those local links are great. So getting the links from the local t-ball sponsorship you did, even though it may not push a ton of traffic to you or even be seen by a lot of people, it does send a signal to Google and all the other bots that you're local and related to this geographical area, right? So still pretty valuable and worth your time. Okay, so now you know what backlinks are. We've talked about how to get them, some ideas, things like that. There is other parts to SEO that are important. And I want to take the opportunity here to remind everybody that you can do a free SEO audit using our website. Go to luminatelocal.com, click on the yellow button, and you're going to list your web page and type in a keyword that you want to get a SEO score on for that page, do an audit. And it'll give you a score on a lot of key SEO factors, including backlinks. Show you where you're doing well, where there's room for improvement, things like that. It's fast, it's free, and it's a great first step for smarter and more effective SEO. So take advantage of that, completely free. And again, continue your SEO journey. So I also want to take the opportunity here to read a review. If you've listened to any of our other episodes or watched them on YouTube, you know that we value reviews from you, our audience. It helps us know if we're putting out the right content. It helps us know if we're bringing value. And it's the way that we just know the show is working and resonating with everybody. So we'll ask for you to leave us a review. If you're so inclined, go to luminatelocal.com, scroll to the bottom, click on the link for reviews. You can read reviews there. You can also click the buttons to leave us a review on whatever your outlet of choice is, Apple Podcasts, Google, Facebook, whatever. And then we read them here on the show. So this one here I have is from Sherry Monson. SEO has always been scary for me when it comes to my business website. I've been paying my website designer for this service, but I'm not sure I like her choices. Ooh, sorry about that. Jesse made SEO less scary and more understandable for me. I've already made some changes to my website SEO using keywords that I'm using in my packaging on my website and other selling platforms. Great 5-star review on Google. Thank you very much for that. Everybody else, again, if you're getting value out of this show in these topics, we would love to get a review from you and we'll read it on the show. All right. So back to our steps here. So take action. If you don't, like I say all the time, your competitors are, right? If you ignore backlinks, there's plenty of other tips, tricks, strategies, things to check off on your list for SEO. Okay. But backlinks are important, and this may help you to get unstuck or move the needle faster than some other SEO tactics are going to. Your competitors are probably actively getting backlinks. If they're authoritative, they may be getting them passively through people sharing content. Whatever the case is for them, for you, you're going to need to actively go out and get more backlinks. Okay. Backlinks will continue to help you climb the search engine ladder, help get more visibility. Again, in addition to wherever you got that backlink, you have a red carpet rolled out. If somebody's on the local T-ball page, they can go right to your website now too, right? It's not just the backlink signal. The backlink is also now a way for them to connect and get to your website as a human being, right? So pull in more leads, get more business opportunities, get in front of more people, get more backlinks. Okay. If you fail to do that, your competitors are going to keep doing it, and you're just going to stay put right there. All right. So in closing, I think that's enough for this episode. Hopefully backlinks don't feel so mysterious to you anymore. You know what they are, and hopefully left you with some ideas on how to go get some and start earning them. Again, be sure to take our free SEO audit on our website. Learn more about your current SEO situation, backlink profile, what's working, what's not working. And as always, if you have a question you would like us to address on this show, reach out. We love doing that. Go to illuminatelocal.com, scroll to the bottom, click the link for questions. If we use your question on the show, we're going to send you a swag bag with some Illuminate Local gear, which is great. I think that's it for today, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate you, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Take care.